So one of the things that provider men need in relationship with feminine women, and that is going to be space. Space from the relationship, space from her, space from the children, space from the household responsibilities. Men really need to take their space and go off and kind of have their own alone time, things that they enjoy doing, hobbies that they enjoy participating in, sports, things like that. Men really need to take the time and make enough time to be social outside of the relationship and outside of the children. They need to take their space and maybe go to the gym, play a sport, call a guy friend. I hate to say play a video game, but play a video game for some men that do enjoy doing that. That's more of the younger modern guys that do enjoy those video games. But play a video game, something that is where there's no responsibility for him to do for you, or to make sure that the children have. Just have that space to clear his mind, clear his head, recharge him by doing something that he enjoys, and kind of rebuilding his testosterone, even going out for a drive, or if he really enjoys playing outside in his toolbox. That's another thing that they can do to kind of recharge and take time to themselves doing. A lot of the times men will become too feminized by being too surrounded in the female energy of, the relationship and all the ooey gooey feelings and the nurturing and all of this love that's coming from the family and, the special woman in his life, the relationship energy of that can be very beautiful and very fulfilling and very revitalizing, but it can also be very, very burdening if it gets to be too much, because too much connection and too much love and not enough sovereignty and independence can really feminize a man. And so oftentimes we will end up complaining about a man becoming too feminine and becoming too needy sometimes, and often just repelling us away from him because he seems to have lost some of his sovereignty and some of his own ability to make decisions for himself without the presence of the feminine woman or the family, right? So oftentimes when we complain about the neediness of a man, it can be just simply because they're not taking enough space and not spending enough quality time on their own and recharging and doing things alone without the burden of responsibility on their backs. And so you have to think of it like this with a man. It's because when men get too close, when they get too close to feminine energy, they get filled up on all of this estrogen. Estrogen is not a bad thing. We all need estrogen. As women, we need 30 times more estrogen. But for men, too much estrogen is going to inevitably feminize him and inevitably repel you from him, because then you will end up having to feel more masculine, and this is what destroys polarity and attraction and romance and passion in relationships. A man's biology and his anatomy and his hormonal system is simply just not acquainted to constantly stay connected all the time to female energy. They need to pull back, pull away, and rebuild their own sense of identity, their own sovereignty, their own independence, their own masculinity. That's ultimately what masculinity is. That's what masculinity embodies, and that is what feminine energy is so drawn and magnetized towards. You have to think of a man and a woman's relationship like the analogy of intercourse. How does that work? A man goes in and out, in and out, in and out. If he stays in, he gets soft, right? Now, I know that's an explicit picture, but that's what it is. If he stays in and he gets soft, well, he's kind of useless at that point, right? So that's why a healthy, balanced relationship is going to be where he can go out and do his own thing and have his own space and have his alone time and call up a guy friend and hang out with the guys, without you as the female always around and always in his energy, always like taking up his energy, and just let him have his pull back from all the burden of the responsibilities that he does have to do day in and day out. Some guys like to smoke a cigar with other guys after a long, hard day at work. Some guys like to have a glass of wine. Some guys like to have, a beer, whatever. And I'm not encouraging all the alcohol and stuff like that. I mean, alcohol is really ultimately not good, but nothing wrong with a beer or a glass of wine every once in a while. But, all of these things that they have to do in order to recharge and really take that space and time to themselves to where they're not feeling so connected and always at the woman or children's beck and call. I know of a few couples where they do everything together. They do nothing without each other, and that's great because that's like your person. That's your other half. That's your spouse, your wife, your husband, your best friend, your companion, all in one, and that's a beautiful thing, right? But then they get to a point where they just spend too much time together. They are too closely connected, and they're not spending enough time apart, and then that causes a lot of friction and tension in the relationship. So either way, that's the thing is I also know other couples where it seems like they spend no time together, right? They are always out each doing their own thing, and then they just so happen to be married and live together and whatnot, but they just never do anything together. That's also another extreme that's also not healthy. So you need to have the balance of both. You need to do things together and stay closely connected, and that's your best friend and you want to go places with them, but then you also both need to have that time and space apart, and your own sovereignty and ability to regain who you are without the attachment of your partner. Another thing that provider men really desire in relationship with feminine women, and that is authenticity and visuals and appearance in the woman that they love, okay? And this is not to say, well, you should change your style and be someone that you're not. No, of course not. But in this American culture, it is very, very highly celebrated. It is idolized almost. Literally, it is on every mug and t-shirt, to embrace the mom culture, hot mess, express, like all of these things that we embrace of cheap and sloppy, right? It's very, very encouraged here in American culture to be sloppy, to look like crap, and that they should just love you for who you are and how you wake up in the morning, and you should put no effort into your look. And this is just complete buffoonery, complete garbage. If you are a healthy woman, and you care about your man and pleasing him and being a feminine woman and showing up to the world, with this light and bright, radiating energy and aura, then you know how much staying attractive to and staying faithful and loyal to your appearance is very, very important, especially to your provider man who chose you and wants to stay attracted to you, okay? So that doesn't mean that you need to change up your style and, adapt the style like me where I'm wearing heels every day. Like, no, be you. Have your sense of style. The way that you dress up when you do get all dressed up and you go out on a date, embrace that. Embrace that often, in fact. For an everyday look, just put a little effort into your appearance. Put a little effort into your hair. Doesn't really take much, but throw on an outfit, Get out of the gym clothes. Get out of the, pajamas that, you woke up in because the kid woke you up early and needed to be fed. Like, get out of those clothes and put on a nice outfit and stay attractive. You know, at the end of the day, men are always going to be more visual than we are as females. It's just simply how the male brain operates. And so really making sure to get out of those sloppy clothes, out of the pajamas, you know, put some effort into your appearance, and show up for yourself, right? Show up for yourself. And when you show up for yourself, you kind of draw in his attraction. You draw in and magnetize his energy in towards you. When a man is going out and getting his hands dirty and, you know, working really hard for the family, you know, if he has a physically demanding job or a very dangerous and dirty job, they kind of get rough and dirty, and, you know, men can't worry about their appearance when they're out at work. So that's why it's always important and radiating to come back home to a feminine woman that has not been, you know, playing in the dirt all day or sacrificing her life all day, doing a dangerous job, but rather taking care of herself and looking pretty and attractive for him, right? Keeping that passion and romance alive simply for him, and not being so comfortable with wearing clothes that literally look just like him. You guys, I went into the a grocery store the other day, and it just tickles me every single time I go out into grocery stores and see like these couples, you know, the guy and the girl, and they are dressed the exact same. I mean, not wearing like technically the exact same clothes, but I mean they're wearing the same clothes. You know what I mean? Like they both have a hoodie on, they both have their sweatpants on, they both have these ugly slides on. I mean, these are completely anti-feminine clothes. And if you've been following me here for a while, you know how big I am on, you know, embracing your femininity as a female, just by simply looking the part, right? Look the part of a female, wear dresses, wear clothes that flatter your body, wear clothes that feel good and comfortable and vibrate, you know, at a high vibration. I'm very, very heavy on that because I absolutely hate seeing women dress like guys. And you can just look at those. I can look at those relationships, those couples, and see that they have absolutely no passion, no romance back in their partnership, and they just kind of stay together because they are comfortable with one another. So don't be that girl. Make effort for him, even if it is just bare minimum effort, just something that gives him a visual, something to look at, something pleasing to his eye, and something that is authentic to you. Okay, that is the biggest thing, is being authentic to you and your style and what he fell in love with in the first place for. Okay, and then another thing that men also really need in relationship with feminine women, and that is intimacy. Yes, intimacy in all different aspects, okay? Let's not negate the importance of emotional intimacy. Men can't get emotional intimacy just from anywhere. We as women can. We are the more communicative energy. We are the more inclusive energy. We have the ability to connect to other females on a more deeper and emotional and intimate level than men do. We can meet a girl, you know, one day and instantly feel connected to them emotionally and just share all of our close, personal, intimate things, right? Men can't do that. Men live in a world of competition. They live in their head energy. They live in their logical brain, and they don't really have as much connection in their brains, literally, to their emotional sides, right? So when they come into the space of a relationship with a feminine energy woman, they really need to have that space to feel emotionally safe, right? We need to feel emotionally safe as women with men, 100%, but we also really need to feel physically and financially safe with men. Men need to mostly feel emotionally safe with us because we are the safe landing space for them to land their emotions, okay? As I said, they don't have the luxury of just getting that from anywhere. They definitely don't have that in the world of the workplace. They don't have that in the world of other men. They might go to other men for, you know, small problems or head problems, you know what I mean? But they're not going to go to a man or other random strangers or friends out in the bar for their deeper, more emotional problems. Now, I know if you've been following me here for a while, you know that I am very anti-trauma dumping dumping, not being with a man who is whiny, plays victim, things like that. But more so, this is talking about a man who already has the emotional strength. He has already proven himself to be a strong man, already proven himself to have a strong emotional regulation system, but rather just needs you to land safely and rest his emotions when situations do arise where things get tough, things get hard, maybe something in the workplace, maybe they lose a best friend, maybe they lose a father, things that are really, really heavy emotionally. And it's not so much about victim playing and, poor me, why me, not that kind of energy, but just more so where they need to let out things that have built up inside and really need to use you as that nurturing female mothering space. You know what I mean? Just the other day on one of my lives I was doing on TikTok, there was a girl and she asked a question that she said, what do I say to my man if he is opening up to me emotionally? And I asked her, like, in what way did he open up to you emotionally? Was it coming from a place of emotional strength? Was it coming from a victim place? Was he could just kind of trauma dumping or what? I said, regardless of whether or not, I just want to help you understand it, that yes, you may be turned off if it is coming from oh, poor me, I'm a whiny baby. You're going to be repelled by that as a feminine woman. But if it's coming from, regardless of whatever energy he's bringing to the table, when he does open up to you emotionally, what you need to do in that instance is just simply listen, let him know that you are there for him, give him physical affection. Men really appreciate feminine touch and hugs and comfort and just that sort of female nurturing energy, just to show him that you are listening and you are here for him and you are that safe landing space. Okay. And also allowing him to just kind of say what it is that he wants to say while you listen, without offering unsolicited advice, without offering, solutions to his problems, without going into that mother mode or telling him how he's, wrong for doing this and he should do this. Just don't get into all of that heavy energy, and that can be very, very repelling to a man and kind of cause him to emotionally shut off from you and not want to go back to you and share anything else and just kind of close off. But just giving him that true energy of just being receptive to what it is that he has to say, and that very comforting space. Okay. I hope that this was helpful for you. If you do have any further questions or recommendations for videos, or have a certain situation that you need more insight and guidance on, send me an email. It will be listed down in the description box below. And as always, like and subscribe if you find my channel to be helpful, and I will see you guys in the next video.